forest where fish walk on land, where predators hunt from above and below, where kingfishers come in different colors, and the world's most powerful predator has learned to swim. This is Sundarbans, the largest mangrove forest on Earth, where the boundary between land and water doesn't exist. Twice every day, the ocean reclaims this forest. And twice every day, it reemerges. 10,000 square kilometers, where every creature has learned to adapt or die. Ten 10,000 square kilometers of islands and waterways, where the Ganges, Brahmaputra, and Meghna rivers surrendered to the Bay of Bengal. Twice every day, the ocean reclaims this forest. Thousands of acres transform with the tide. And twice every day, they reemerge, reshaped, renewed. This is a world where nothing is permanent, where survival belongs to those who adapt. And when the tide retreats, the hidden world reveals itself. At low tide, the forest floor emerges, dark, wet, and alive. Mudskippers, fish that have learned to walk on land. They hop across the exposed flats on muscular fins, their bulging eyes scanning for danger from every direction. These amphibious fish can breathe air, store water in their gill chambers, survive out of water for hours as long as they stay moist. Evolution at its most creative. Across the flats, fiddler crabs emerge. Males waving their oversized claws in elaborate displays, each one signaling to females. Each one defending a tiny territory in the mud. When danger approaches, they vanish into burrows in seconds. The mudflats suddenly empty. But not for long. A water monitor lizard emerges from the mangroves. Nearly 2 meters long, muscular, prehistoric. Its forked tongue flicks constantly. Tasting the air, detecting chemical signals. The monitor moves across the breathing roots jutting from the mud, pneumatophores that allow mangrove trees to survive in oxygen-poor soil. These finger-like roots create an obstacle course, sharp, unforgiving. Yet the monitor navigates them with ease. It's hunting, always searching, always hungry. Water monitors are opportunistic predators. At the first sign of threat, it will dive. Water monitors are excellent swimmers, disappearing beneath the murky surface in an instant. Water monitor continuing patrol. In the Sundarbans, the line between terrestrial and aquatic is meaningless. Every creature here lives in both worlds. You adapt or you die. As the tide begins to rise, water flows back into the creeks. These channels are the arteries of the Sundarbans, some wide enough for patrol boats, others barely passable, all of them tidal, all of them changing. The water's murky, brown with silt carried from the Himalayas, visibility measured in centimeters. What lies beneath is anyone's guess. A ripple disturbs the surface, then stillness. The saltwater crocodile, the largest reptile on Earth. One rests on a mud bank, massive, armored, perfectly still. Jaws agape, not threatening, thermoregulating. Unable to sweat, crocodiles must open their mouths to cool down. Heat escapes from blood vessels in the mouth and throat. This is an ambush predator, patient, opportunistic, capable of explosive speed, but only for short distances. It doesn't chase prey. It waits for prey to come to it. Males can exceed 6 meters and weigh over a ton. Few animals survive an encounter once those jaws close. Nearby, something smaller moves through the shallows. A young crocodile, not yet a meter long. Vulnerable. At this size, everything is a threat. Herons, eagles, water monitors, even other crocodiles. Perhaps 1 in 100 hatchlings will reach maturity. The odds are against them from the moment they emerge from their eggs. But those that survive become nearly invincible. They share these waters with another predator, one that hunts not from the water, but from the sky. High above the mangrove canopy sits a hunter of a different kind. The crested serpent eagle, a forest specialist. Its distinctive crest gives it its name. Those large yellow eyes miss nothing. It watches, waiting, patient. Below, life moves through the mangroves. Water monitor patrols on forest floors. Snakes wind through the roots. Crabs scuttle across exposed mud. The eagle's name comes from its preferred prey, snakes and lizards. That powerful hooked beak and strong talons are designed for gripping reptilian prey. Its short, broad wings allow it to maneuver through dense vegetation, to drop through the canopy when prey appears below, to strike before the victim even knows danger is near. A loud, distinctive scream echoes through the mangroves, a territorial declaration. This section of forest belongs to it. But there is another hunter in these skies. The Peregrine Falcon, the fastest animal on Earth. Capable of diving at speeds exceeding 300 kilometers per hour. Though typically a bird hunter, in the Sundarbans it has adapted to catch bats emerging at dusk and small shorebirds. It doesn't hunt from low perches like the serpent eagle. It hunts from altitude, circling high above the canopy. Yet another predator patrols these skies. The Brahminy Kite, the opportunist of the mangroves. With its distinctive chestnut plumage and white head, it's a generalist. Fish, crabs, carrion, whatever the tide reveals. It glides low over the waterways, watching the surface. When it spots prey, it descends. Talons skim the surface, a quick snatch, and it's gone. And still another raptor commands these forests. The changeable hawk eagle, the ambush specialist, a powerful forest hunter with piercing eyes. It strikes from concealed perches deep within the canopy itself. When it spots a target, it launches with explosive power, a devastating short-range attack. 4 raptors, 4 strategies, all masters of their craft. But not all birds here are predators of scale and feather. At low tide, the mudflats become feeding grounds for waders. The lesser adjutant stork, a massive bird standing over a meter tall. Its bare head and neck are adaptations for feeding. No feathers to become soiled when probing deep into carrion or mud. It stalks through the shallows, each step deliberate, its massive bill poised like a weapon. When it strikes fast. The bill clamps shut, crabs, fish, small reptiles, anything slow enough to catch. These birds are opportunists, scavengers and hunters. Whatever the tide reveals, they will find. Nearby, a different strategy unfolds. The curlew. That impossibly long curved bill is specialized for one purpose: reaching deep into mud burrows, probing, sensing, feeling for hidden shrimp and worms that lie beneath the surface. While the adjutant takes what it can see, the curlew finds what lies hidden. These tidal mudflats support over 260 species of birds. The Sundarbans lies along one of the world's major migration routes. Species that breed in Siberia winter here. Birds from the Himalayas descend to the coast. The mangroves are a crossroads, a sanctuary, a lifeline. But the true masters of these waterways are the kingfishers. You find kingfishers elsewhere in India, but nowhere else will you find this diversity. The black-capped kingfisher, large, bold. It hunts from exposed perches, diving for small fish and crabs in open water, aggressive in defending its territory. The collared kingfisher, smaller, more secretive. It prefers quieter channels, catching tiny fish and insects in the shallows where the larger black-capped won't venture. The common kingfisher, the jewel of the Sundarbans. Brilliant blue and orange, the smallest of all, it works the very edges of creeks, taking the tiniest prey in the shallowest water. And the brown-winged kingfisher. Rare, elusive, a forest specialist that hunts in pools deep within the mangroves, far from open water. 4 fishermen, same family, same basic body plan. But each has found its niche. Each has carved out a living space that doesn't overlap with its cousins. This is evolution's solution to competition, not conflict, specialization. The brown-winged kingfisher spots movement in the water below. A shrimp. Success. The catch is held firmly in its beak. But the shrimp is not ready to eat. The kingfisher beats it against the branch, stunning it, breaking its shell. Then with a quick toss and catch, the kingfisher repositions the shrimp head first and swallows it whole. One meal down, but a kingfisher needs many small catches each day. The hunt continues, dive after dive, hour after hour. This is how they will spend their entire day. Watching, waiting, striking. Masters of patience, precision incarnate. As afternoon gives way to evening, a change comes over the forest. The tide begins to turn. Water flows back into the channels. And with the rising water comes the hunt. Spotted deer gather in tight groups. Nervous, alert. Ears rotating, eyes scanning the tree line. Every sense on high alert. they have reason to fear. Even when drinking, they never relax, never lower their guard. Because in the Sundarbans, the apex predator doesn't just walk through the forest, it swims through it. The deer freeze. Something has triggered their alarm. A spotted deer barks. That sharp, repeated call that means only one thing. Predator. The forest goes silent. Birds stop calling. Even the insects seem to quiet. Then, movement. A massive male tiger emerges at the creek's edge. For a Sundarbans tiger, water is not an obstacle. It's a highway. He approaches the water without hesitation. 30 meters of open water. Long, powerful strokes. And disappears into the mangroves. Silent, purposeful, gone. But what happens next is something else entirely. Elsewhere in the forest, behind a screen of branches and leaves, movement. A tigress and her sub-adult cub, watching us from the shadows. What you're about to see is extremely rare. The young tiger moves first, stepping into the open near the water's edge. The mother remains hidden, watchful. In the dense Sundarbans, tiger sightings last seconds. To observe a family, to watch behavior unfold over minutes. This almost never happens. The cub sits and begins to call. Soft vocalizations, not threatening, communicating. With its mother, with us, processing this moment. The calls continue, short, repeated. A conversation we can hear but not understand. For minutes, the cub waits at the water's edge, patient, alert. We are part of this moment now. Observer and observed. The cub's studying us as intently as we study it. These calls aren't random. They're communication. Mother and cubs can identify each other by voice alone. Each tiger's vocalization is as unique as a fingerprint. The Sundarbans tigers are protected under the highest level of Indian and Bangladeshi law. Armed forest guards patrol day and night. Then the mother decides. She steps from the shadows, fully visible for the first time. And behind her, a second cub appears. Not one cub, two. 3 tigers together on camera. This is what researchers spend years hoping to see. The mother enters the water, no hesitation. She swims across the narrow channel. And then she stops. She sits in the shallow water on the far side, waiting. Her cubs remain behind, 10 meters of moving water between them. This is teaching, not by force, by demonstration. The mother has shown the way, now the cubs must choose. One cub rises, moves to the water's edge. Young tigers face impossible odds. Established adults hold the best territories, the prey-rich islands, the easy crossing points. Young tigers get what's left, the edges, the margins, the dangerous spaces. It swims, less confident than the mother, more deliberate but capable. Sundarbans tigers are the only tiger population on Earth that swims daily, not occasionally. Daily. Their paws are slightly more webbed than mainland tigers, an adaptation developed over generations. The distance closes. The mother watches every meter of progress. Finally, the cub reaches the shallow water. The mother rises from the water. And without ceremony, she disappears into the forest. The lesson delivered. Now the young must find their own way. The cub sits where its mother just waited, alone in the shallows, but not afraid. It watches us. We watch it, a moment of mutual recognition. On the opposite bank, the other cub remains. The creek still divides them. Finally, it moves into the water, following its sibling, following the path the mother showed. This crossing is its own decision, its own courage. The two cubs converge in the shallow water. They touch face to face. A greeting, a reunion, a bond. The second cub shakes its head, water droplets flying from its fur. And then they both turn toward us. Two young Sundarbans tigers, side by side, unafraid. In this moment, there is no barrier between their world and ours, just recognition, just presence. They sit together in the shallows, sometimes watching us, sometimes the forest their mother vanished into. What you have just witnessed is among the rarest footage ever captured in the Sundarbans. Three tigers, a family, teaching, learning, bonding. Documented in a place where tigers remain ghosts, where sightings measure in seconds, not minutes. This is the privilege of patience, of being in the right place, of witnessing what few ever will. As the sun descends toward the Bay of Bengal, the forest transforms. 10,000 square kilometers of islands and channels, painted in gold. The daily rhythm, advancing, retreating, shaping every aspect of life in this forest, where the most powerful predator on Earth has learned the most important lesson: adapt or die.